Hello, and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. And tonight is a pop-up. I just kind of popped in here. I know I didn't give y'all no warning. So I'm basically coming here because I said believe it was Monday. Anyway, one of these nights recently, when my last live, I said I was coming back on Thursday, off night to discuss because when the live once the live had got started, things had got heated immediately off. I had opened up a can of worms, and anyway, so we kind of went down this one little rabbit hole, and it was heated, it was hot, it was mucho caliente, and I said I was going to come back so we could discuss it and go over some some of the questions and some of the comments, and to kind of just set folks' minds at ease to not be dismayed at these all of this fake stuff, because over here we stick into math and science. And for those of you who don't know me, 52 years old, a proud Gen Xer, and proud mother of 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes, and 1XX. And also, I have over 30 years of nursing experience. So, not only am I a Gen Xer, but I'm a mature, wise woman. Mature and wise. And over here, since November the 26th, we've been um, being consistent with seeking justice for Shanquilla Robinson. Um, One of the things that we prided ourselves on was saying, over here we don't do moments of silence, we do moments of speaking, where we speak out the names of victims, speak out the names of survivors, because the goal is to face the abuse to become survivors. All right, so basically, like I said, a few days ago, or a week ago, yeah, a few days ago, anyway, I did this the last live that I did. Someone had come over here to the thank you. Yeah, thank y'all for coming in. Please, I hope y'all hitting the like button on your way in here. It's so good to see some people in here coming, because like I said, it was no warning. This was just kind of I clicked clicked go and went, come on up. Hey Karen, how you doing? Thank you for showing up, y'all. I know there was no warning. There was no warning because this is a pop up. But I did say when we got together the last day, that was beginning of this week, that I was going to come on Thursday. So Thursday is almost over, so I wanted to make sure I kept my word. Thank you so much. Karen says hello and looking great. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. What's up, Susie? Susie is in here also. Susie says hit the like button. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So I guess where I could just kind of start off on is that I was surprised at the energy that was going on, and how over a period of time the focus, kind of got off, and a lot of us was getting into our feelings and stuff. And feeling we're doing a lot of different things that felt like we really shouldn't be doing, as far as like judging and all that good stuff. So wanted to I wanted to I don't know, just kind of remind us about why we got started here, right? We said we were coming together under the umbrella of getting justice for Shanquilla Robinson, right? Using that umbrella because we saw how in the past there's victims who didn't get justice, right? We mentioned Kanika Jenkins' name has come up multiple times here in the chat. And so, in the beginning, we were all focused on, yay, we're going to stand together because of strength in numbers, stand together for justice for Shanquilla. And along the way, once we started making this content, a lot of times the devil will tempt us by using our ego against us, right? You know what I mean? Like even how he tried to attempt Christ by offering him all, fame and fortune and all that stuff. So all that to say is that this, could, if you're not focused and, staying rooted and grounded in something, it could be easy to get persuaded to, start feeling like this is about you and you're some, anyway. All that to say is that strength in numbers, and he who is without sin shall cast the first stone. And also, um, also, also, he is who is without sin casting the first stone. So I just want us to make sure that we're still coming from a place of peace and love. Like that was one of the things that I prided ourselves on in the beginning. Is how we were coming, and it just kind of opened my eye up, when I poked my head in there back, like I was saying, like back in, I want to say it was December something when the first falling out happened, or this whole, beef crap stuff was going on with between content creators, right? When the original goal was that we were all here seeking justice for Shanquilla Robinson. Then along the way, we started getting personal, right? So, and before, in the past, I used to always remind us about, when you get on the airplane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before you try to help the person next to you. And that's because if you are trying to help somebody else out and you haven't taken care of yourself first, then, you're going to be done. You're not going to be able to help the other person, right? So it's the same concept when they say, when in the Bible, when it says, check the beam in your eye before you start trying to regard the beam in thy brother's eye, right? So meaning, get yourself together first before you start trying to, point fingers and judge other people, right? Did I say judge? Not least she be judged, or he who's both of those kind of go together, right? So I'm just grateful that that we have the word to remind us about this good stuff here. All right, Karen is giving some greetings here too. More people were following here. Let's see here. Hey, Jamie, what's going on? Jamie says, hello, beautiful RN and chat. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm just grateful too that, we all, especially, the names from folks from the beginning and stuff like that. So what I wanted to say was that there are people out there that are not interested in, the justice really. They are have an agenda to spread mischief and to, spread discord and stuff like that. So that's why it's super important that, we stay in focus on the math and science and all that good stuff. So I guess I can start off by reading some of the comments, or I don't know. When this whole thing got started, just recently when I was commenting or reacting to the One Life person, before the thing got started, it was a few people that was triggered or really emotional behind that. I was just I was watching it again. It was super funny to me because Janet Jenkins was it was like it was I just felt like how it was, everything was presented. It was like can't make this stuff up. Like as this stuff is happening, the guy is in the chat And, there's drama. There's this drama going on in the chat. Like, people was giving out knuckle sandwiches, and just right from the beginning, like the chat was on it, and people had already been over there and kind of knew, some of the stuff that this content creator was talking about, and some of this stuff that was being put out there. I just want to say that, back in December or January, I, stopped looking at other people's stuff, right? And sometimes you guys would send me some, different content creators and stuff like that. But for me, y'all know that I'm about, truth and honesty and all that stuff. So if I see a bone in one of the, people that y'all done recommended, I'm going to call it out, right? I'm going to call it out. So not that I'm trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Just like I said, I'm always going to be on the side. Hey, look who's in the house. The champ is here. The champ is here. What's up, Janet? Janet was coming out with knuckle sandwiches. And y'all know, just as usual, I was late with the, chat. Like by the time I got down there, they was already duking it out. And yeah, so if you haven't already, go back and watch the video. It was good. It was really good. And I learned a lot, because during the live, I actually clicked on, I saw that the content creator was actually simultaneously going live too. And I go to click on it, and why? How about as soon as I click on it, this guy is going, Shanquilla died of a drug overdose. And I'm like, what? Like, this was the furthest thing from my mind. Like, I had seen like 3 videos. Y'all know how I feel about these long, watching long other people's long stuff, right? So I had only watched like 3 of the, a 9-minute video, 13 short videos, right? And in those videos, Brother Man was talking about, getting a bill signed for put femicide on, like it was really like he was really, pro doing something for Shanquilla, right? And y'all was over there with Janet anyway, was over there, reminding or informing us that this was a two-phase where would say one thing and then something else. It was almost like a Jekyll and Hyde. So it was funny when I went to watch it again and saw my reaction, because I was like, is this fake? Like, is this staged? Is the algorithm set this up for me to click on the live at this very precise time when this man is saying Shanquilla didn't die from, didn't get her neck broke, that she died from an overdose. So, which I felt was good to happen, because that allowed me an opportunity. I think like the next day or so, I did a video where I, was able to tear that down, right? Because for those of you who know, that's what I've been saying from the beginning. That's what started my conversation on Shanquilla. Was I made a comment about seeing the injury that matches up with the death certificate, about the severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Hey, Janet, nice to see you up in here. Though I did skip over some folks here that I ain't see no names for. Here is a new name. Tampa Supreme says that only life Family Guy is a clown. Yeah, I didn't know that, right? So I was, like I said, when somebody came over to the chat 2 lives ago and said that, there was I guess he was, I guess, the up and coming person on this whole Shanquilla thing, and that, I should check him out, or that he was trying to contact or get you something. Anyway, go over there and see this stuff. But on the night that I am reacting to it, there's beef in the chat. There's beef in the chat. And I was just so proud of my members for standing up for the chat and opening up the blinds and shining the light. And then for the spirit to lead me to the live that he was actively doing to boom show this clownship. Yes, as far as like to say that. But I took it as an opportunity for us to show the power in the truth by went back over the steel frames to show the injuries on the death certificate. And like I've said before, and helped to break down that we have discovered that there's a difference between a death certificate and an autopsy. And the autopsy was a distraction that was thrown in there for us to get distracted on the true cause of death, because we know that the death certificate is the only official document that is issued that is the record of a person's death, right? The death certificate, official document issued, just like a birth certificate, right? A person only has one birth certificate. It's an official document to certify the person's birth, just like a death certificate is an official document to certify the person's death, right? And an autopsy investigates the cause of death. The cause of death is determined on the death certificate, right? So since the family, we never heard the family question the cause of death, which was severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, family never questioned it. So there was no reason to perform an autopsy. No reason at all. Thank you, Tampa, for saying that there. Susie says, it's a mess with some of these bloggers. OMG. Yeah, and that's the reason why I stopped watching them, because I knew that if I go over there and watch, and then all of a sudden I hear them say something that's not factual or, it's ridiculous, so I don't have to go there. I don't want to spend my time going back and forth and pointing out how this blogger is being dishonest, right? So the only reason why I had to do that was because I clicked on it at the time when he was saying that, and I was like, there's no way that that's how I got started with speaking out on the truth and stuff. So there was no way that once I heard that, like I had to say something. And two, somebody, I want to say it was Lil Jessica, that put in the chat that this guy had said that, So I was just like, there's no way. But then when I click on there, hear him say, she died of what? Kind of craziness is this? All right, so everybody's talking up here. We got some greetings and all that stuff. What's up, Lil Jessica? What's up? So, I'm always happy to show the old stuff, which is the simple facts. But when you guys do bring me things on different content creators, I don't mind to watch it, because I was surprised to see at how many people was actually believing that, like that could possibly be true, So that's why I say sometimes you got to go back, and it's the reason why they try to stop us from playing the video, stop us from talking about it. So when 6-7 months later, they throw in this new bone about, the Shanquilla going from a drug overdose, Think about it, y'all. How many times have they changed the story in the beginning? Remember when they dressed the body, moved the body, made love to the body, they did all this stuff, right? And then once we go bring them back to the truth of the video that we saw, Shanquilla receiving the injuries that's listed on her death certificate, then they come up with some other news story. right? So that's why it's important, to keep up with the actual stuff that did happen. Go back there and look at the stuff, right? Otherwise, this kind of stuff will start surfacing. And the other thing I wanted to say too is that after the video, after the last live, we started discovering this stuff on One Life, dude. I did. I was watching some of, I guess, the lives that he was doing then. Come to find out, he states on there that he F's with, or the young people say that means that they down with. He said he's down with winter, like he's on the side. So that's why, I'm not surprised that where the information come from. And then the other significant thing is that he was getting his information from Geraldo, right? And then in one of the documents, I want to say it was from what Sue Ann Robinson had brought back, that said they had classified her as the Afro-Latina, right? So, again, these things wouldn't be uncommon. And then he said out of his own mouth that he is on winter side. So that's probably why he's trying to promote this dry bologna sandwich that Geraldo fed to him, right? Because when we looked at the video, we saw it was the same setup, except for seeing Geraldo Zuniga, it said One Life. The same thing. The same thing with the fake phony file numbers, right? Remember I showed y'all in the one video. So I guess I can show a few of those too. But let me get a couple of these here. Greetings on here. Thank y'all for coming up in here. See, Karen says, at Susie, it has gotten totally ridiculous. Yeah, like I said, that's one of the main reasons why I even stopped. Because in the beginning, we was all, promoting each other and showing, support for one another. But when the bones started coming in, and really, that's when Geraldo entered the scene. He was the one that brought in all the phony story. He was, went on his little tour. He was on his tour of promoting the dry bologna sandwich tour, and right, and then because once we went back and saw that that was his story from the Metro whole thing there. And then the one dude, One Life, said that's who he was getting his information from. And Jessica says, hey to the people too. Yeah, I already got that one. What's up, Janet? Janet was like, figured out a way to get the algorithm to get your message out there too. Says facts. All right. See, Karen says, Ella Jessica, hi there. One of my few YouTube favorites. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Let's see here. Let me get a couple more new people that's just joining. Welcome. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video here. And see, the first one I'm gonna share is we're gonna start off with the actual. Oh, is that it here? The actual live that started this whole thing off. So let's go there. It was 4 days ago. I'm looking at it now. And or maybe I should do the video because it's shorter. Y'all know how I feel about long stuff. And I think I did more. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna react to this video that I did. Oh wait, I'm gonna pull it up first. Because on this video that I put out there as a reaction, I actually plugged in the videos and stuff. So I'll react to this, and that way we can have more clarity too. More clarity. All right, here it goes. This here's are in disputes. YouTuber at One Life's theory on Shanquilla Robinson's cause of death. Oh, then I added G is in here too. And then if you go back and watch that live, the very first comment, Janet was the first one to comment and had to show the whole night. And I had such a ball reading those comments. Oh, it felt good to me. I hope I did did it justice, and told another content creator to suck his fat flowers. Thank you, Janet. All right, so let's hear. Go here and and then then I found the document too. I'm gonna we'll pull that up and go over that Mexico's little fake autopsy and stuff. We'll have a little fun tonight. Hello and welcome to All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. And over here, we've been using the umbrella of justice for Shanquilla Robinson because we believe that by getting justice for Shanquilla, we can leverage that to get justice for past and for future. Today, I just want to come in really quick because the live that I did on two nights ago, anyway, reacting to the star at One Life TV that you all brought to me. Anyway, I just wanted to, calm the crowd or whatever, just because there was things had got real heated. It was good though. I was enjoying the. It was a good look. It was a good fight there. Yeah. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know that it's nothing to be scared about because it's the same person who was behind misleading us in the past. Like this guy is getting his information. Guess who the information is being fed to. Well, anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old, a proud Gen Xer. Keep up some here. And I had fell for that. I'm just laughing because some of y'all remember back in February when I had re-stumbled on the article that Geraldo had put out about Dejanay being arrested. So I'm just laughing because how the One Life dude was like, adamant about his, his source and all this stuff. And I was thinking like how I must have looked. How I must have looked at this whole thing when I had fell for that back in the day. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just share the screens and go through, show y'all on my channel where, there's videos that I have, where I went for it too. So y'all, we Polo Star, he fell for the banana in the tailpipe. All right, so look here. This is my channel. And let me go here. All right, so there's recent stuff. Let me go on down here. Okay, here's one. All right, look at there. See this thumbnail there? I wish I know how to just make the thumbnail show up there. It says name of Dejanay Jackson is now criminal file J664/2022. Arrested 11/28/22. Right? And so there was a story that was fed. I read it through on this, and I was, believing it and stuff too, until later when we discovered that it wasn't true, right? So we see that they put in wrong stuff in here, right? So this was like 4 months ago. However, I initially spoke about it here 7 months ago, back in I'm almost done, and then we're going to wrap it up. And back in November 30th, so that's when this story first came out, when they fed it to us, right? And I was all for it and gave 100% to Shanquilla Robinson. I was going live daily, with the passion and all that stuff. So when I was reading these documents, which we found later to be fake, untruths, right? So all that to say is that instead of, attacking or beating this person up, and the person I'm talking about is Star from One Life TV, have some empathy. Anybody could be tricked, right? Nobody's perfect. That's why the scriptures even say,
See,
judge not, least ye be judged, right? And also he who is without sin cast the first stone. So since none of us is without sin, it's not unfair. And I just wanted to show y'all that that even I had fallen for the whole, she's been arrested, right? And the same person who fed me the dry bologna sandwich here, when I saw that he was getting his information from Geraldo, I was like, wow, see how devil work? Like, it'll use the same cookie cutter technique to get the next person, and it's with pride, right? Look at how prideful he gets about, I'm the one with all the information. Even if you see some of the comments when in the fighting in the chat, Susie said, Janet, you was lit. I laughed the whole time. I was trying to hold mine in because I was, trying to be but yeah, you was on one. You was on one. Jen said he attacks anyone that disagree with him, but it it is the names that he so freely called women that gets to me. Yeah. Now, see, I had only saw his videos, which were short and stuff like that. And like I said, those lives, yeah, they see the potty mouth and all that stuff. But Jen was like, "Oh no, sir, we don't do that over here. We support the truth. We stand up and support it." It's the same person that I heard Star say on his channel. Geraldo. He mentioned Geraldo, and it's the same person that is feeding. That's what he's doing. He's going around feeding these dry bologna sandwiches to anybody who is willing to, who will fall for it, right? So I had fallen for it for months because it had been months later when I spoke about it again, right? So back November 30th, everybody, all the content creators were talking about Dejanay being arrested, right? From the lead attorney down on to, oh yeah, here the people go right here. Tessa Tales, right? All that. Nancy Grace didn't say that, but anyway, so look at it, right? So fast forward way up here, months later, 5 months later, I stumble on to the old life when we had read that she was picked up by Interpol police and all this stuff, right? So I'm like, what? Oh, so maybe that's why we haven't heard from her, because this whole time she's already been arrested. So here is me reporting how, look at me. All right, let's see here. Let me just let y'all see a little bit of this. Look at my I remember this day too because I had the documents, I was pulling them up, and this here is so funny. So funny. But I'm just looking at my face because in my mind, you know what I mean? I have the information here. I've got this document. And this is what was going on. You guys was just too asleep to recognize it because it was in a document and you don't want to read, right? Remember I was saying that? Here we got to read. My face. Share screen. Because in my mind, I'm convinced that Dejanay has been arrested since November 30th. If they said back then that she was picked up, why? See, look at me. I truly believe that, right? This is what I'm preaching now, right? And then shortly after this, yeah, you did. We discovered that it's a fake story, right? It's a fake story. I'm going to show y'all that. But anyway, I just want y'all to see how even I,
Yeah.
back, let's see when this date was. This was February the 2nd. Woo, look at me. I was hot. I was going at it with the chat. Anybody who was trying to tell me that Dejanay ain't been arrested, that Intervo police don't do this stuff. Like I was zeroed in on the fact that I had a document and I read it.
Wow.
Right? So it appears that this star individual is, he's me from here. Now listen, that's why I say cut him some slack. Look at me, I'm
More reading. All right, let's go here. Breaking news. This here was published November 29th. Well.
I'm like, well.
Okay, breaking news. Dejanay Jackson arrested.
Wait.
And so if later, once I discovered that this was wrong information, of course I go back at it, but in the meantime, look how this was put out there. And so I'm learning a lot too, y'all. So all right, so anyway. Notice how I put the emphasis on the past tense here. Because in my mind, like I'm not even, look here, Metro Proli, this here is Geraldo's, but his way he was feeding the fake stories, right? So, but look at me, I'm convinced that this is legit. Look at the dates though. So 11/28, right? 11/28. And some of the obvious ways to know that this story is fake. I'm gonna play a video on that later on too. But my thing was that when Mexico was saying that they were trying to issue an arrest warrant, that should have been a red flag for us at that point, because Mexico let them leave, right? Mexico let them leave, and they gave them the police report saying that it was a cardiac arrest due to alcohol poisoning, right? Remember that? So if Mexico let them go in the beginning and vouch for their excuse, their alibi, why would we believe that they had a crime scene? Right? Why would we believe that they did an autopsy hours after Shanquilla was, supposedly pronounced deceased? Right? So this is real, right? That's why I'm saying it with such vigor.
In the United States, arrested. Dejanay Jackson was placed in federal custody. Dejanay Jackson was placed in federal custody, waiting for her to begin her extradition process to Mexico. Right? Here we go.
Mexico.
Right? Look at the Dejanay that they're showing here.
Because remember when they tried to sneak in a second version of Dejanay? Wait a minute. Let me go over here. If y'all look, let me see here, because I showed it too. Let me just go ahead and do it real quick since I do extras on this here now. All right, so they tried to switch in. Oh, this ain't where I want to be at. They tried to switch in a new. They put in a new person, a different person, and tried to say that this was Dejanay. Let me see what that said. I had let me see here. No, that ain't it. All right, so let's see here. This gotta be it here. Yeah, here this is it. All right, so this is my community tab on my page here, and somewhere along there, oh look at there. That was That was a whole month ago. Wow. Time just keeps going clicking by and no. All right, so look here. This here come up, they shared a day before the rally, right? Which gave the address and all that stuff. Let me see what date this was. Oh, I don't want to do that. Anyway, a day before the rally is when that come up out there. But where is... Oh yeah. when when they was trying to get this out, here we go. Yeah, look at that. All right. So, impossible to be the same person. And so broke down all this was when I was showing y'all the skeleton and how you can be able to tell an XY chromosome from an XX by this here very move that they love to do here. Put the hands on the hip. You can see hips are in two different places, two different faces and all that good stuff. So that was that was why I was laughing on this here video, because when they was doing that old thing there, trying to make a new. Now I'm playing the part of Dave and I ain't taking too much time. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna go live again, y'all. This is a recording here because I wanted to go too long. I'm just for Karen. Karen Bruce says at Jen, my friend, you stumped the time of day all over his head. Look at little Jessica. I love it. It was funny too. Anyway, it's been giving me some good laugh. Humor is good. Sometimes good laughter is good medicine. Because it was funny because I didn't notice the the knuckle sandwiches being delivered until way later. I was like, oh look, he's here. I wasn't even expecting start down there, and then when I saw he was trying to fight back too. Was no match for Janet, and Ernie was backing up Janet. It was a time. We had a good old time, didn't we? Let's see. Susie says, I do understand, Janet. You wasn't playing. Yeah. What's up, Denitha? Denitha says, I believe Mexico's report because they performed the autopsy before the embalming. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me see how much more on this here. Where's that? Hold that thought. I'm just gonna try to do like 30 minutes to do this. Anyway, but anyway, it was a time when they had. Well, see, you got that up there. All right, so beneath saying she believes Mexico's report because they performed the autopsy before the embalming. Okay, so Mexico in the beginning said that there was no evidence of foul play. So if Mexico in the beginning said there was no foul play, why would Mexico have performed an autopsy? Why? Right? Mexico did not perform an autopsy. This is this here is a bowl of poo. Mexico didn't do any autopsy. That's a lie. It's a flat out lie, because if Mexico on one hand said there was no foul play, why is Mexico performing an autopsy? Why? They have no reason to perform an autopsy for what? It's alcohol poison. Right? That's what Mexico said. This here is alcohol poison. No proof of any foul play. All right, so let me just go find a quick little short where Mexico is saying that there is no evidence of foul play. All right, here goes something. Okay, here we go. What is it? Okay. Yeah, there's plenty here. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all. All right, so I'm looking for something talking about Mexico saying something. Okay. Right here, see what's that? Nazir Mama says he's innocent. What's this here? All right. All right, here goes something. Sorry.
Cord and neck injury.
The police do not have the authority to.
Letter states that federal murder response when the doctor arrived and that she died within 3 hours. He says the police report lists her death as cardiac arrest. It doesn't mention the severe spinal cord and neck injury.
The police do not have the authority to declare a cause of death. This has to be done by a physician. So the police ain't doing no autopsy report. And if they said here that they calling it cardiac arrest, they only came up with this autopsy months afterwards. Months afterwards. They come up with the autopsy report. Months afterwards. So that's why I say we don't believe them. And since you're bringing that up, I'm going to go and let me see here. We're going to share the documents that Mexico's autopsy report, just so we could, humor each other here with this bogus story of an autopsy. Okay, so where do we put that at? The autopsy is I dropped it in one of these things here. All right, I know where it's at. Is this it? All right, this might be it. Or is this it? All right, let me just peek in here and see if this one's it. Okay, this might be it here. Yes, okay. Okay, so I dropped it in a few things, and y'all could look at it too. All right, so here we go. Let's share. No, that ain't what I want to share. I don't even know why that's up there. All right, so if you stop the share, looky here. Looky here. All right, here we go. Watch this, y'all. Okay. So this here is back April 11th. This is when Mexico's autopsy come out, right? So if this was done, they said October 29th. Let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Nearly 6 months later, Mexico now has an autopsy report that they are releasing. They never mentioned this autopsy report ever. They never mentioned it. Only thing we knew came back from Mexico was the death certificate that the parents and other news stations reported because it's an official document issued. And that's why in the beginning, the death certificate was the only thing that was floating around. The autopsy was fed to us. So I'm coming over here because this here took place April 11th, and here is the document. Okay, it didn't cross over. All right. Okay, so this thing didn't cross over. Here, go right here. Let me see if I can share. All right, so if you go over there and click on that, you'll be able to pull up this document. This is the document dated March 13th, 2023, that Sue Ann Robinson had, put out there. This was her contribution from the fact-finding mission that Sue Ann Robinson went on. So this here dated on March 13th, 2023. All right. So we're going down here, and Mexico has given their autopsy report, which is way down here. All right. So, and look at the date on this, right? This here says it was dated October the 30th. October the 30th, which is the next day after Shanquilla passed. They already have a autopsy report. But listen to this. This here is from the government of the state of Baja California, sir, State Attorney General Office. So how is the state attorney overseeing an autopsy? How? Right? When we know that an autopsy is done, by medical personnel who's trained in, this, a medical professional, not an attorney. Two different fields, right? So look at all these here lies, pages of lies, right? That mean nothing, because the death certificate states the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, right? So if Mexico did this autopsy, why did we only see it 6 months later? Why didn't they put this out back in October, right? Why didn't this come out in October? Because Mexico didn't say that they was going to even make any type of, wait a minute, they did. It was in November. They didn't talk about making any arrests until November. Until after the video went viral. Then all of a sudden it went from no foul play to we have a warrant for the direct aggressor. So if they were just finding out about this direct aggressor, like it says up here in the document here, that they didn't know until they saw the video on the internet. So if they didn't know here, how are they doing an autopsy? If on the 29th, when the incident took place, they didn't see any foul play, right? So it wasn't being investigated. If they didn't say it was any foul play, so how did it go from alcohol poison, cardiac arrest to now all of a sudden a whole autopsy is being rendered on an American whose body hasn't even been claimed by the family? October 30th, the family they don't even know where Shanquilla's body is at. So who gave Mexico permission to do an autopsy? This how we know that this is a lie. This is a lie because who gave Mexico permission to do an autopsy hours after Shanquilla was expired? And hours before the family even knew where she was at. And if they said up here that the friends covered it up, right? So if the friends were so clever, the Cabo Six was so clever that they was able to cover up, cover all this up. How could we have a whole investigation here where they did nail clippings and all this stuff, right? That's what I'm saying. So yeah, Mexico ain't did no autopsy. Them lies there. What's up, Tamika? Tamika is saying hey and blessings to everybody. Jessica says, oh wow, I don't know. He was on Winterside. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. The live, I think, later on in that, he says, yes, I F's with Winter, So that lets me know right there who you done already told us whose side you on. So, for those of you who are still, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be worried, not worried, but cautious about who you're listening to, and all that good stuff too, and see, people let you know where they're really coming from and how they really feeling and stuff like that. Yeah, he said he's on Winter, he's down with her. He F's with Winter, and that's the young people's way of saying they down. Like back in my day, we used to say, oh yeah, I'm down with so and so, I'm down with her, I'm down with him, down with the person. So these young people have potty mouth on everything. All right. Susie is also throwing out some greetings there. We got some more greetings. And Denitha says he said that he is in winter. Oh yeah, in Winterside because no one can produce a video of her attacking Shanquilla. We can only believe what we have seen. All right, so even I want to say, was it on this little live going up? How multiple people have, admitted to seeing the video where you see Winter putting hands on Shanquilla. Even I got video back in November 30th where I admit to seeing Winter, the light-skinned girl, putting hands on Shanquilla. Not body slamming her, any of that stuff, but she punched her in the face area, the head area. She after Dejanay snapped her neck. And yeah. So, and then too, even if the video, nobody saw the video, the whole Cabo Six deserves to be punished for that, because if there's a group, if the Cabo Six did a drive-by shooting and only one person pulled the trigger, the whole carload would be in trouble for that crime. That's just how it works. So just because anybody didn't see Winter on there, her name, see here, her name is on this here list. Here we go. Her name is on this here list. Right there, number 4. Or number 3, because we were wondering who this space up here was for on the number 1 space here. That was one of our things we was inquiring about. Inquiry minds wanted to know. Every name on this, except for Shanquilla, of course, deserves to be punished. All of them. All of them. All of those names up there. Yeah. So again, that just lets us know who he's working for. Who he's working for. Let's see. And Denise Jones says, however, Winter is still guilty. Yes, okay. We on the same page here. All right. Time of day. All right. What's up, Anisha? Anisha says, hello, lovely Natural Beauty RN and all. The Cabo Six are narcissists and they were flying monkeys speaking for them. Yep. Heck, anybody can create false narrative behind the screen. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Denise says, all around natural beauty, you have such a pleasant personality. Thank you. I'm a Sagittarius. It's part of our nature. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate that. And that's why I say, like, coming from the place of love like that, love wins all. So don't have to worry about people that's coming in being, hateful, any of those kind of things. Love will save the day. It does save the day. What's up, PM Channel? PM Channel says hello at All Around Natural Beauty RN and all in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, ooh. Good. Here, let me scoot on down here. Got my members up in the house here. This here's our tribute to hit the like button, y'all. These likes ain't matching up here. All right, false documents. We're gonna have some more fun with these shorts here. Calling these people out on these here shorts. Putting our whole thing together here. So we're gonna go here and start at the God darn, why I keep doing that? Start at the bottom. From the beginning, and put the pieces together. Like, why did all of a sudden people start migrating over there, and who are these people saying that he's telling the truth and stuff? Like, who were those people? Because those people also had come over to the chat. He had supporters too, some names that I don't remember knowing. I'm not gonna say that I remember everybody's name and stuff, because sometimes y'all be changing y'all name too. I'm like, who? But there was people that was vouching for him in the chat and stuff like that too. So, yeah. All right, so let's see here. That there's people out there that's, believing this stuff. Like, if you saw the video, how could you agree that, she got up and walked to the bedroom and took a overdose of fentanyl? Really? Like, the stories get more and more unbelievable as the days go by, with, people coming up with this new stuff and stuff like that. So let's see here. What is this? Here's a lawyer too. Let's just peek through and see what some of these attorneys were saying. Here go attorney here.
Paula Robinson was a young lady out of North Carolina who went on vacation with her friends to Cabo. I think it was Cabo, Mexico, Cabo San Lucas. And within 24 hours, she was dead. Her friends told the mother that she had died from alcohol poisoning. The medical examiner, however,
all right, medical examiner is the coroner who issues the death certificate. So he just said the medical examiner. Listen,
multiple bruises and contusions and neck injuries that might lead to a different cause of death. So there's a video, and so let's take a look at this video because it shows what happened shortly after they got to the hotel.
Good look, can you at least fight back? No. At least.
Oh, y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Somebody said, "Why is she not fighting back?" Oh yeah. Oh, y'all can't even see because I'm gonna pull it back some. Yeah, that's right. There was more audio up in there too. Why is she not fighting back? That's right. All right. Let's see what the next one is. He says, given that Dejanay was born in Jamaica, does anyone know if they are U.S. citizens? I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing about Dejanay being born in Jamaica. The Journey to Justice says they're going to show the video of the 911 call next live. Wow. There's a video of the 911 call. Wow. It's amazing how all this stuff is surfacing, months after the incident. Impressive. how they. And I'm like, can anybody see how like staged that is? Like they were just trying to hurt us, right? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see where that mouse at? Can y'all see that? The whole thing here. All right, so I know somebody wanted to see that. Jessica says underneath this, so that's his only reason. That man is a joke. Yeah, that's true. Karen says at Jamie, yes, ma'am, we should have sold tickets. Oh, well, how did I miss that? What did Jamie say? I don't even see Jamie's comment. I missed it. You see, Denitha says at LaJessica, I am only going by what is visual until the case breaks. Everyone are going in circles and beefing. Yeah, and I have unsubscribed from most channels. My spirit is not going to feed drama. Wow. Yeah, it was a bit disheartening when, I'd, read or see some of the titles and stuff like that. And I would try to click on it. But then when I started hearing some of the stuff, I can't do it and stuff like that. But then I always want to go back to the beginning, before they knew they had to come up with different stories to explain stuff, right? And in the midst of them explaining stuff, they kept changing the story and not realizing that you're just putting, a lie. You can't, right? That's why it's just best to just go ahead and tell the truth. Be truthful. Karen says at Jamie and Janet, I'm sorry, ladies, that comment was for Janet. I think, Karen, you be trying to throw me off. I always manage to get your comments too, but you are my member. That's why yours be sticking out for me. Jamie said, it's okay, love. Denevia says, if you feed drama, you breed drama. People are no longer making it about Shanquella, and that saddens me. I agree with you too, because there is, I caught the tail end of more beef where another, I'm not gonna even name the name, made a whole video to this, talk crap about this guy, call him a junkie or some kind of, crackhead. Anyway, there's all this, people making, and you're right. Now it's about people getting personal. And that's why I was always saying that it's just as big a sin to take offense as it is to give offense. It's the same, because once you take offense at what somebody else did or said, you are judging and you're casting the stone. So get ready for something to come back to you. And then before you know it, you are puffed up in your own ego and self-righteousness, and and then you are going around doing the same thing that you are offended at the other person for doing. So yeah. And I was just saying, and then in the meantime, everything is all divided. And don't y'all know that that's exactly how they want us? Because guess what? If we was all together and really standing under the umbrella for justice for Shanquella, we could really do some stuff. But the way divide and conquer, that's a legit strategy. Really is a legit strategy. So y'all tell me, because I be wanting to go in the direction, then I want to at least address some stuff that y'all want to talk. Hey, look at Diane. What's up, Diane? Diane says, hello, Ariane and beautiful. Justice for Shanquella Bernarda Robinson. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, so let's see here. All right. Oh, okay, I must have went up there already. Janet says, at Karen, I'm over here cracking up at you saying we should have sold tickets. I know, because that was a first time in a long time that I saw the drama and stuff come over here. I was just like, everybody was warning me, no, I already know him. No, he's no good. So I'm like, wait a minute, shoot. If we gave Geraldo a chance, we're gonna give this dude one too, and see. Let you indulge me. Let me see why we shouldn't be supporting over here. Let's see. Danica said, if Dejanay would have gotten arrested, it would have been plastered all over the news and media. Yeah, I know, because I wanted to show y'all too this here. The one short where how we found out that was fake. Where is that? All right, let me share this over here. All right, so one of these here goes on to explain how it's fake art and exposes lies. Let's see what this is about. Okay, let's try this one. So if they just officially opened an investigation October 18th, we'll even just say they did it the day before and the news just got it on October 17th. November. How did they just open the investigation and go right to an autopsy? Thank you. The parents weren't disputing the death certificate that listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. No one was disputing that. So why would the FBI have done an autopsy so soon after officially getting on the case? Because this article is saying that the FBI officially got on the case on November the 17th. Right? So if they got on it November the 17th, November, December, January, February, March, April is when they said they weren't going to do anything about it, right? So that means that they sat on this autopsy for 5 whole months. So first of all, it's unbelievable that they take on the case and then the very next day they're already doing an autopsy. Why? Nobody questioned the cause of death. The cause of death was never in question. So what is the reason for doing an autopsy? Right? That's just done to distract us so that they can say, well, since Mexico said this and we saying that, then, well, ain't nothing we could do. When, if we stay focused on the truth, the math, and the science, we know that the death certificate is the only official document. Autopsy is not official. It's not official.
In Cabo, Mexico, back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about
So if they... All right, so that was that there. We could have made some money. I know, huh? Y'all too cool. Let's see. Janice says, right, to plenty of money. Yeah, then they'll call you greedy and all kind of stuff. And I want to say that I wish I had it on now. My little fanny pack that is in my little store there with Shanquilla on it and the date. I get asked about that quite often, and especially at work. And people have they'll come sign up, subscribe to my channel, and they continue to encourage and support me. some of them have heard about Shanquilla and some not. And so they ask, and I have an opportunity to share with them what's happening. And it usually has a very positive outcome by bringing awareness to this case. So, for all of those little gremlins that try to make it seem like people were trying to capitalize on this, no, it's a way to bring awareness. And as a matter of fact, I want to say maybe this weekend, I was at my drop spot for my Turo cars, and there was this man, and he had a daughter with him, and he was asking about buying one of the cars. So I was explaining to him that they're not for sale. There's Turo cars. They're my little rental cars. And anyway, so his daughter, she looked about 7 or so. She points at my little fanny pack with my Shanquilla Robinson post on it and says, "Oh, look, Daddy." So I said, "Oh, you know about her?" And the little girl knew about her, and she wanted to get my YouTube channel and show support. And then her dad was, interested in it too, had heard about it, and felt some kind of way because he has a daughter and all that stuff too. So all that to say is that any way to support and promote and to keep the name Shanquilla Robinson out there is all good. And anybody who is trying to stop that or discourage it, shame on you. Shame on you. Oh, okay. Susie says Zuinga should be ashamed telling the American people them bold-faced lies for money, and then he vanished. Or is he kind of just laying low because he got started promoting his his bold-faced lies. Huh? So let's just see what Zuinga has been talking about. Or do we even care? Do we even care? All right, so let's see here. Because I had the fact-finding thing that talked about how to know this stuff is fake. And I can't find it. I just played it too on that pod. So let's see here. Maybe this is it. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and this is the article that has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquilla Robinson case, but
all right, so this here is Geraldo's article, right? Got on social media and spread like a wild fire. Everybody was reporting on it, including me, right? Back in November. That's the story that they had put out there. Isn't that something? Put that out there like this and fed us this dog food.
I wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads.
Yep.
First,
that's exactly what Star is doing with his little document that's not verified, right? Or we at least have verified that it's coming from this same source that's already have a track record of distributing fake documents, misinformation.
the headline suggests Debunking Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect.
Wow.
They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. So what is Interpol?
All right, so that's it. On the live, this whole video plays, and it totally, sheds the light on how this is, fake information and stuff. So we were able to rule out Geraldo as being a credible source. And the first way we were able to rule out Geraldo being a credible source was when he originally made these statements here. This is Geraldo back in November when he was making doing his tour. He was making his he was on tour going around saying this stuff here about the Cabo 6. Let's see here. Let me just pick any one of these here. RN notes Mexican reporter story changes. Okay, let's go ahead and do that one. RN in chat agree. What's this about?
Appreciate you speaking out, from as an RN to be able to, give the care to the chat too. Also, I appreciate my RN moderators out there because I know that you are rendering the nursing process.
Oh yeah, back in the day, chat used to be full. It used to be full until the gremlins got around up in here and started doing things to screw with the algorithm and stuff. But I just say be patient, and the stuff that's out here is truth, and the truth is not going to be shut down. The truth exists and always does. All right, so that ain't the one I want to do. Here we go. Okay, what is this here? Millie says, and this is why I think YouTubers are disingenuous, because they know he changed his story since then. I'm just hoping that maybe they didn't hear this first. I don't know. I was able to easily see that the story changed. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. But then again, like I said, if something happened to make everybody now just follow these news stories, it's like, okay, this is what we want the people to see. Here's the narrative. Now go run with it. So it's like they came to everybody's channel and planted these seeds. Yep.
Some people took it and ran with it. Some people didn't.
And the ones who didn't, those were the ones that they tried to shut down the channels and stuff. Wow. So it wasn't about tranquility for everybody. Some of these people was really just, about getting views. I'm here to grow the community based on people wanting to get justice for Shanquilla Robinson. All right, so that was that. Let's see here.
It kind of makes me wonder, is that the part, or is that when Khalil Cook called back here to Charlotte to tell the Salamandra?
And my thing is this, how does he know? How does Geraldo know anything when the Cabo 6 snuck away, right? And they let them go. They let him go. So how did he get some supposedly crime scene photos when there wasn't a crime scene? They made all this stuff up afterwards. Geraldo Zuniga.
Quilla Long.
That lie.
That Shanquilla was sick, she wasn't feeling good. And then called back to state that, she was being resuscitated. Okay, so they weren't in the bedroom.
Okay, so he had said they had abandoned the body. Yes.
Right.
Entonces, la pregunta de él dice,
y'all hear that? They abandoned the body. They couldn't be in there with the body. They couldn't face it.
And then to listen, they're already calling Shanquilla a body. So that means they're referring to her as already being deceased. This is back in November. So if they found her body, how was it now a scene where they did medical help for 3 hours if she was already dead? Right? Do you see how they're going back and forth? It doesn't even add up or make any sense. If he's saying here in November that Shanquilla was already gone, how why would he even believe if somebody gave him some fake pics? Why would he even believe that these are pics from the scene when she was already gone, right? You admitted here, she already gone. Like most people don't like being around a body. That's why I stand firm on the fact that they didn't dress her body. Remember, that was a lie that it was saying too. That the Cabo 6 moved body, Cabo 6 dressed body, Cabo 6 raped body, Cabo 6 danced the body, Cabo 6 did all this stuff. Shaquilla in the break room, Shaquilla in the restroom, Shaquilla in the kitchen, Shaquilla in the living room, Shaquilla in the den. Janet Jenkins says, I believe the death certificate from Mexico because it was put out before anyone knew about the attack video. Exactly. And the death certificate is the only official document that is issued. And it lists the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. And in the video of the attack, we see Shanquilla receive severe spinal cord injuries and the atlas luxation. The injuries that we see her receive match the injuries that's listed on the death certificate. The death certificate also lists the time of death, being 15 minutes after receiving the injuries. So when we see the person that they told us is Dejanay Jackson break and snap Shanquilla's neck, we can set the timer for 15 minutes.
Shanquilla was not deceased at the moment that the service worker found her, correct? She wasn't deceased yet. She wasn't dead yet.
He trying to help
Quiero
her out.
clarificar esto para los seguidores. Que el momento en que la persona de servicio, cuando encontró a Shanquilla, ¿todavía no estaba fallecida?
Ya estaba fallecida. Tenía de las 7 a las 12. Ella llegó después de las 12.
She had been dead already.
Wow. She had been dead already. Geraldo Zúñiga said she had been dead already. This was back in November. So Geraldo, if she had been dead already, how did the doctor come with some? All right, so those were just shorts. But anyway, I got a whole video where I reacted to, and then thank y'all too. Somebody had put in the comments that JG is actually Gerald Jackson because that live that I did when I was reacting to One Life's video, somebody kept saying that they thought One Life was a JG. They kept calling him JG. And I was just like, I'm sorry, GJ. GJ. Anyway, it's come to find out they were talking about this guy. And my thing is this. At one point after this, they started trying to say that he was the person in the video unaliving. See, this was another lie. Do y'all remember that when they were saying that this guy was the one in the video attacking? They were saying that this was the person playing Dejanay. Did anybody remember that? I think when I made this video here too, was when people started trying to tarnish this guy's name. So he's back on the chopping block again, y'all. Dang. Y'all, okay. Anyway, let's see here. What's this here? Arvin says Miss Computer is whack. Okay, I'll do that. All right, what's this here? Here's the death certificate. Yes, definitely.
Okay. What the death certificate said. Most people, when this story came out the gate, was calling this an autopsy. This is nowhere near an autopsy, folks. But yet everyone that pointed to this story, that pointed to this document, talked about the autopsy report says that she died of a spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. But this is not an autopsy. This is a death certificate. Information that comes from an autopsy would be posted on a death certificate. This would be the short answer to what an autopsy would have stated, or the findings in an autopsy would have given. So they're beginning to clear up this particular aspect. They're not calling this an autopsy report anymore. They're calling it the death certificate, which is proper because that's exactly what I'm here.
All right. So, Karen says, Ariane, a partial autopsy was done in Mexico. Ooh, excuse me. Was it? Let's see here. What is this here? Fake autopsy report. Melanie B brought up an excellent point. Excellent point. I had caught that too when I read it the first time. Sylvia says she hadn't been alive 24 hours before the autopsy. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm saying. They messed up on the date. They were too busy trying to paint the picture, to point the finger, at one person that they must, I don't know, did they forget that, we had all this history already and, that y'all had already ruled it out, ruled out any type of, funny business, and that it was indeed, alcohol poison and went into cardiac arrest. Okay, let's see here. So a partial autopsy was done. So where's this partial autopsy, right? Because what Sue Ann came back from her fact-finding mission seemed to be pretty complete, right? So is there two autopsies? That's what I'm saying. I guess two. Come on. No. Let's see. Here's a new name. Beautiful B says, hello, everyone. I thought the autopsy had been done, just not released. So my thing is, if the autopsy was done, but not why did they not release it? What was the purpose of not releasing it? And my thing is this: the speed in which this autopsy was done or decided to be done, right? So they're saying that a day before Shanquilla was laid to rest, that the FBI did an autopsy, when the FBI had just officially picked up the case the day before. That's pretty fast work. I just don't see, that they worked so fast, but then they, slowed up. Like, really? So, I just don't believe, I believe those are lies. I don't believe that it doesn't match up. It doesn't match up that they would be so quick to go right to the autopsy when the death certificate, the coroner's report, was in question. It was not in question. The autopsy is supposed to be there to give more clarification if the cause of death is questionable. So, yeah, I don't think that that the autopsy was done, but not released. Like that, it doesn't even make sense that they would have done an autopsy and then wait 5 months to put it out, and then say, "Oh yeah, it's nothing we could do about it." What's up, Lena? Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Let me hear it. Get up out of here. Janet says, Ariane, didn't the ME in North Carolina use the same police report from Mexico along with the lies from the criminals for the FBI in North Carolina to make the decision not to charge anyone? Yeah, that sounds about right, Janet. That sounds about right. So here we go again with them using the police report. The police doesn't have the authority to declare cause of death. And why would we believe Mexico's police report when their initial release from the police report said no evidence of foul play? So if it was no evidence of foul play, and their police report right here says she drank a lot of alcohol.
When the doctor arrived and that she died within 3 hours. He says the police report lists her death as cardiac arrest. It doesn't mention the severe spinal cord and neck injury.
But see, the police report. Okay, here goes this thing about how they threw us that snare about DJ R&B. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. This guy got up there and told us lies.
Here we go. Bring it to the stage for the first time. We have how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing just great. So what are your thoughts on this case?
So they actually got her in custody. The thing about how this works is the U.S. can only detain her until she's transported to Mexico. So you're detained.
Back in November, this guy, common sense expert, was saying that she's been detained, right? So this here was putting fuel to my fire that yes, she was detained because he states that he's got so many years of criminal investigation experience and all that stuff. So
she's arrested because they have a warrant out for her. So all we can do, that's why we're so quiet, because we can do no more because we got her in custody. So now they're just waiting on the extradition process.
We got her
back to Mexico and face whatever charges they get.
Oh, so you're saying that's why the news people ain't saying nothing is because they just holding her until Mexico come pick her up?
Right. So there's no 72-hour hold. That's in basic cases, but she has an arrest warrant on her. So
okay.
So she's locked down tight. Ain't no getting away from this one. She may be able to fight extradition to a point, but
all right. See there how we all spreading this little misinformation. All right, Karen is greeting some people. I'll greet her. Let's see, Denita says the report was going by information the Cabo 6 told them. Yes. It wasn't until the Cabo 6 left is when the coroner reported otherwise. Are we saying the two reports from Mexico, U.S. are not lining up? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. They do not line up. Neither one of them do. And so that's why I was saying that over here we sticking to the facts, the math and science, and the death certificate, which states Shanquilla passed from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it so we don't get distracted and start running with stories of, Shanquilla grew wings and flew around the room and did all this crazy stuff. We saw her get her neck broke. We saw her body show signs of the paralysis. There's no way she got up after her neck being broke. There's no walking with a broken neck. There's no breathing with a broken neck. And what kind of investigation takes the story from the witnesses? Takes their word for it. You walk on the scene and somebody's dead and the people tell you, oh, it was alcohol poison. Oh, okay. Stamp, here we go. They had two different stories on the actual care for the scene, right? And don't even match up with what Geraldo shows on these pics. Just since, I kind of already went over, I'm going to go on and, ain't going to switch up. I'm going to, we're going to read real quick the little Mexican report just to pick out these quick little bones, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Because And we see these two different reports because sometimes folks, we forget. All right, so we're gonna go over here real quick. This here is the first part, March 13. This is what, I don't know if this might be a tasteless joke, but anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. This is what our GoFundMe money went towards. All right, here's a nice little letter from a fact-finding mission. Dear President Biden and Secretary Blinken says, on behalf of the family of Shanquella Robinson, we write to request immediate diplomatic intervention from the United States government in the transnational criminal case. The case involved in the death of Shanquella Robinson, a 25-year-old ambitious, bright entrepreneur and American citizen. Shanquella traveled to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico on October 28, 2022, and was reported dead in a luxury villa in Cabo on October 29, 2022. Her 6 travel mates returned to the United States the next day. 3 of the 6 travel mates, Winter Donovan, Khalid Cook, and Dejanay Jackson, would transport Shanquella's luggage from Mexico to her mother's home in Charlotte, North Carolina. They would give their condolences and inform Ms. Robinson that Shanquella passed away from alcohol poisoning. On November 16, 2022, one of the travel mates shared a video from a cell phone camera around the campus of Winston-Salem University, the college that Shanquella Robinson attended. The video shows Shanquella being beaten in the villa while naked. All right. Remember back when they was trying to say that Shanquella was dressed, that she wasn't naked, right? So they had went through so many different things. You go again, and in the beginning, that was always being reported that Shanquella was naked. Shanquella was naked. Nobody disputed that. Her parents said she was naked. Her dad said she was naked. Naked. Everybody said her stood naked. The news people reported naked. Woman was naked. Naked, beat to death, naked. Naked. Right? So here we go again. Naked. By one of the 6 mates who was identified by a witness as Dejanay Jackson. An autopsy report prepared on October 30th. I wonder if these people is working together. An autopsy report prepared on October 30th, 2022 in Mexico by medical examiner Dr. Renee Adalberto Galvan Asiguno noted that Shanquella's body had a head injury and concluded that Shanquella's cause of death was a broken neck. All right, so maybe this is the partial autopsy that, but again, this ain't the person that the dad said he got the cause of death from. So all these people ain't had this woman's body. All these people ain't had this woman's body. I'm believing the dad, right? Because Mexico didn't say nothing until after November 16th, when the video went viral. All right. After the video of the beating of Shanquella Robinson surfaced online, the Attorney General Office in Baja California Sur initiated a criminal investigation. As a result of the investigation, a warrant was issued for Dejanay Jackson by Mexican law enforcement. Now, this is the first time that we heard the name Dejanay being applied to the arrest warrant. Everyone else said an arrest warrant was issued. Mexico issued an arrest warrant for the direct aggressor, never stating the name. But here we got the attorneys for Shanquilla in this letter saying the warrant was issued for Dejanay Jackson by Mexican law enforcement. Mexican law enforcement. Then up here it says Attorney General. One of the 6 travel mates who fled to the United States after Shanquilla was pronounced dead, Miss Jackson, was identified as the perpetrator of femicide against Shanquilla Robinson, a homicide based on gender. You know, I did read this way back in March when it first came out. However, a lot of times when you put eyes on it for a second time, more stuff is being revealed. This sounds leading to me too, like they're trying to paint the picture. That's a lot to put in a letter. That's a lot to put in a letter. That's a lot to put in a letter. That doesn't sound like. Anyway, I'm not an attorney. I don't have a lot of info. Okay, so let's see here. Homicide based on gender. All right, let me just keep on going here. If a United States citizen commits homicide in Mexico and returns back to the United States, as you are aware, they can face criminal charges in the United States under federal law or state law, depending on the circumstances of the crime. Federal charges are brought in cases where the crime involves interstate commerce or federal law enforcement agency. We know in a transnational case where evidence was possibly transported and persons of interest communicated with each other via cell phones, federal charges could be brought against those responsible for Shanquilla's death. Under federal law, all right, so if we got laws and statute right here. Under federal law, the most likely charge that could be brought against someone primarily responsible would be a violation of 18 U.S.C. special symbol 1112, which covers manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter. If the individual's actions met the requirement of murder under federal law, they could also be charged with violations of 18 U.S.C. 1111. Federal charges could be brought against co-conspirators to homicide, including conspiracy to commit murder, aiding and abetting, accessory after the fact, and obstruction of justice. As you are also of course aware, transnational criminal cases can be complex and challenging to resolve, especially when they involve individuals and entities in different countries. We understand each country has sovereignty over its own citizens and that each country has its own legal system, which can create issues. We also understand there is a protocol for the resolution of transnational crimes. Despite reaching out to consular authorities who are tasked with being the family's guide and liaison in cases such as this, we have encountered numerous obstacles in our efforts to receive information for the family or whether those responsible would ever be brought to justice. While on a fact-finding mission on behalf of the family, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson was advised by a member of the United States Consular Corps in Mexico that if the family was seeking information about the case, perhaps the family should reach out to the at-large travel mate. Certainly, this is unacceptable response to share with an American family in regards to their daughter's murder. Given the nature and scope of this case, we believe that diplomatic intervention from the U.S. government could help facilitate the necessary cooperation and coordination between the involved parties to ensure that justice is served timely, that the accused are tried under the appropriate legal system, that extradition is possible, and that international cooperation is fostered. The United States can follow the extradition protocol and turn over the individual or individuals responsible for Shanquilla's death to Mexican authorities. Alternatively, U.S. federal law enforcement agencies can request concurrent jurisdiction with Mexican law enforcement agencies, which would permit U.S. prosecutors to bring the case in the United States as the involved parties are U.S. citizens. Now, I just showed a video a couple days ago that back in, I want to say it was December, they had announced that Mexico and American authorities were working together, that they were collaborating and working together. And so now we have Sue Ann saying she's asking if they could work together. We have just witnessed what a swift concurrent response the Mexican and U.S. law enforcement agency looks like in the kidnapping case of a group of U.S. citizens at Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Both scenarios we are requesting on behalf of Shanquilla Robinson's family require a high level of swift diplomatic intervention. My client recognizes that the U.S. government has many priorities and responsibilities, but believe in the intervening in this case would not only serve the interests of justice, but also send a clear message that transnational criminal activity will not be tolerated. So this was the letter that they sent to the president. And then they listed all these stuff here, which was stuff that we had already seen here anyway, on the internet here. And then apparently Mexico's interview report. Now Mexico's interview report is dated 11/19/22. So this here was already weeks after the incident. Cabo 6 is gone. So why is there this interview? Why are they interviewing this now? Is it perhaps they saw the video that came out on November the 18th, I believe, 17th or 18th, and then all of a sudden now they got this here homicide unit, right? So these are clues, y'all, that Mexico only talk about this stuff after it came out. Because look at how this dated 11/19. 11/19 homicide unit is talking. It says official seal is not there. Official seal is not located here. Baja California, sir, State Attorney General Office. So the State Attorney General Office is hosting interviews November the 19th on a case that Mexico originally said was no foul play. So if it was no foul play, how are these interviews available? If it was no foul play, why did they interview anybody? Right? This is how you know this is fake and not to be believed. Mexico said no foul play. So why would Mexico waste their resources doing interviews for no reason? This is fake. Fake, 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 fake. 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 All right. All right, so it's getting late, and we were supposed to be going here. Denitha says, what about U.S. saying it was a partial autopsy report? U.S. said that they have a partial autopsy report too. More distractions, Denitha, honestly. Like I said, if we just stay focused on the death certificate, this autopsy stuff doesn't even matter, right? All this stuff here is this story. Look how this don't even sound like an interview. On the next slide, I'm gonna pull up like a real police interview, right? Something that they got out on the internet, so we can show the differences on how a real interview really goes. Like this here, all of it sounds fake and stuff. Okay, here you go. Here's the seal right there. All right, not in the wrong spot. Official seal there. Yeah, that's a lot. All right, so let's see here. All right, so I'm just going to read this little front page here. This is their supposedly autopsy report, all right? So it says, criminal investigation agent assigned to specialized units for the investigation and prosecution of miscellaneous offenses, right? So here we go here with a criminal investigator, the person that is, talking about this here so-called autopsy report. Criminal investigator and medical personnel, coroners, physician don't go together. Don't go together. The undersigned attorney, wow. So here's an attorney. The undersigned attorney, Renee Adalberto Galvin Osigero, expert forensic doctor of Baja California, sir. It says here an attorney. It does. MD is not present in here at all. So is he a doctor of law? This says attorney. See, I didn't see this red flag the first time I read through it. But here go how they put the lies up in there, right? It's switching the lies, maybe put in a little bit of truth here. The undersigned attorney, right? They're going to click keyword right there. Expert forensic doctor. Yeah, right. Of Baja California, sir, right? All right, so it says issue examine and identify a cadaver, determine cause of death of whom when alive was Dame Robinson Shanquilla Bernarda, female, approximately 25 years old, determine approximate time of death, make a detailed description of external and internal injuries, as well as the other objectives of the necropsy following international accepted protocol. This is dated on October the 30th, hours after Shanquilla expired. Nowhere in the history of anything are they doing an autopsy hours afterwards without first contacting the family. At this time, the family doesn't even know where Shanquilla's body is at. That's how we know this is fake, y'all. They have a dead American and they have no contact, no family contact, right? Remember the dad said in the interview he had to be a detective and find out where his daughter's body was at. That's why I don't believe on October 30th, Mexico did no autopsy when they had already said, oh, no, it's alcohol poison. Why would they waste resources to do an autopsy? And guess what, y'all? I'm going to pull up the calendar. If October the 29th was Saturday, that means that October 30th is Sunday. Sunday is usually closed. Places are closed, right? So why would you believe that they would be doing an autopsy on an American who has not even been claimed by the family on a Sunday? Who come in on their off day? Who got up out of their bed on their off day to come do an autopsy on a victim who's hasn't been classified as a victim? What are we doing an autopsy on? Why are we doing an autopsy? Why? It's just somebody who died. It's just somebody who got drunk and died, right? So why would you believe that they did an autopsy on the 30th? This is a lie. This is a lie. Why we didn't hear about this autopsy when they was telling us the police report, right? Remember the police was saying that she died from the cardiac arrest and all that stuff? Why wasn't this autopsy report mentioned at that time? It was already done. It was already done. Right? All right. So I'm just gonna read this front little page here. Because this is supposed to tell everything right here, right? All right. This is what they say they're gonna do. Material: surgical table, saw, scalpel, thumb forceps, measuring tape, camera. So the thing that I noticed right off the back is that is limited materials, right? This is not enough material to perform an autopsy. A surgical table, a saw, scalpel, thumb forceps, measuring tape, camera. Like that's it. That's all the materials that you need, right? That's not enough. It's not enough materials there. Method: the analytical and deductive medical forensic scientific methodology will be used in this intervention. Techniques use Victrol, Rotisky mixed photographing and video during the procedure. Techniques used mixed. So where is the video and the photographs? Right? How come we didn't see nobody has given any photographs of this here autopsy? I've seen Tupac's autopsy photos. I've seen Selena's autopsy photos. Years ago, I used to have this fascination with dead celebrities. Anyway, I've seen some autopsy pictures, right? How come we ain't seen none? Nobody has posted or uploaded the autopsy pictures. Nobody showed us this technique. They admitted right here that they did a mixture of photographs and videos. We ain't seen not one. Lies. All right. Description: forensic, legal, or medical examination and necropsy. The cadaver was received packaged in a white plastic bag, duly labeled and preserved with a chain of custody. What chain of custody? What chain of custody gave you permission, gave you consent to perform an autopsy on an American citizen? What chain of custody? What chain of custody? Right? Lives. All right, and listen up here. Brought at 20:30, which is 8:30 p.m., hours to the autopsy table at the medical forensic service. Listen up closely, y'all. On October 29th of this year. So at 8:30, Shanquilla's body is already at this facility receiving an autopsy, right? Now, they've said in the video that Shanquilla was dead at 6 p.m. So 2 hours later, she's already getting an autopsy? Come on, y'all. Come on. They said 6 p.m. 6 something. I mean, I think it's even in this here document. All right, let's go back here, find this little time of death. All right, so here we go. This is 9. Let me move up a little bit here. Okay. This is them talking about the day of the incident. All right, so let me just go here. All right, then I promise I'm gonna let y'all go. All right, so here we go. This is supposedly the day of the event. Okay, so I went to the room of the main client, Miss Jackson, to mention to her. Okay, then I'm gonna move on down a little bit more. All right. I made sure they were seated, having dinner, sharing and celebrating, and that they had the information of the internet, the audio, operation of the house. Once everything was ready, I left. This is the concierge saying, that he left, right? This is the day they having the tacos. The drink, this, that time, right? All right. So he said, I left all the clients, chef blank with phone number blank and waiter blank with phone number blank stayed in the place, right? The next day at 13:50 or 13:52, I received a text message from the main guest, Miss Jackson, asking me if I am available and which was the nearest medical service. I greeted her and asked her how could I support her and if she was looking for a hospital. She answered yes. I think my friend has alcohol poison and needs emergency service and someone to speak or translate in Spanish for us. I offered to send her a doctor so he could determine if it was necessary to go to a hospital, and I told her that the doctor speaks English. Okay, so right here, if someone is calling saying that they have an emergency, most people are not going to be like, well, let me just send a doctor over there first and let them determine if it's going to be emergency. Who's taking that responsibility? The Dejanay said it's an emergency. So concierge saying, I'll send a doctor over there and let the doctor be the judge of that, right? I tell her that the cost is $100 for the visit plus the medicine. I ask her if she agrees and she answers yes as soon as possible. I tell her that I will make the call to request the service, to which she answers yes, please. Around 2 p.m. on October 29th, 2022, I called Dr. Blank, who is our contact for medical attention for our guest and whose telephone number is blank. All right. So you already took 8 to 10 minutes to call the doctor. 8 to 10 minutes in the emergency situation is a very long time, right? So he's just calling the doctor at 2. And then we saw one of those shorts. I would flip back to it. That said that that they were pronouncing her demise at 2, right? So anyway, he ain't calling the doctor until 2 here. In about 4 minutes, Miss Jackson texted me asking me what had been told, and I answered her that a doctor is going to contact her to check her friend, and she replies, okay. Attached to this document is the screenshot of the conversation with Miss Jackson and I where she asked me for medical help, and the conversation is recorded on 3-letter size sheets of paper attached here too. At 16:25, Blank texted me. All right. So 16:25 is 4:25. So that's like 2.5 hours later. So 2.5 hours later, they still texting the concierge, right? Why? Why is the concierge being texted? At 16:25, Blank texted me and told me that the girl has to be hospitalized because after being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized, and that her friends were finding out if they had insurance, to which I asked if she is in serious condition, and the doctor said no, but that she does need an IV. Right? So, first of all, no doctor is going to say no to somebody being in serious condition, but she need an IV. This don't even sound like a doctor talk. Because if you need an IV, that is not good. IV is urgent. IV is urgent problem happening now, right? So here is the first, not the first, but here's one of many red flags there. This is not doctor talking. And there is no way that a doctor has spent 2.5 hours on site. Unless they were stranded somewhere, a doctor would have come there and immediately called 911 to get the person transferred where they can get some real help. A doctor is not working no 2.5 hours on a patient, period. When have you ever went to the doctor's office and the doctor spent more than 12 minutes with you? Never. Never. A doctor's training does not provide them to be comfortable spending hours with one patient unless you are a surgeon and you are performing a surgical procedure. Even surgeons, when they're making their rounds to check on their patients, are there for 3 to 5 minutes, which is what most docs do. They're not there. They don't have that kind of time. Their time is way too valuable, and they're not going to be the ones actually rendering the care. They make the evaluations and diagnosis and give orders for others to follow through with. Doctors are not down there doing any CPR and starting IVs and all that stuff. More lies. All right, so this is how you can tell too. This ain't a doctor don't talk like this. To which I asked if it was serious, and the doctor said no, but that she does need an IV, that she is practically unconscious. What does that mean, practically unconscious? There's no such thing as practically unconscious, and that was why she had to be hospitalized. So if you're practically unconscious, that's serious. That's serious. There's never a time that you should be practically unconscious and it's not serious. Blank with telephone number blank called me to ask if I requested an ambulance for the villa. I told him no. He tells me that security of Puerto Los Cabos is asking him about the request and access of an ambulance to Casa Linda number 32. Later, Blank called me to tell me that the guest had died and asked me to go there as soon as possible. That he is already on his way to help in whatever he can. I went to Puerto Los Cabos from Cabo San Lucas after having spoke with Blank. Upon arriving at the villa, I find a couple of municipal police officers talking to Blank in the parking area of the house. My thing is this: why are there municipal police officers there? Why are there police officers there? And why would a doctor be there working solo for all these hours, right? And in all this little conversation, we never hear about an ambulance. Okay, up here, requesting the ambulance, right? After 1625. Called me and called me to tell me that the guest had died. Okay, all right, I got that. All right. A couple of municipal officers talking to the guest. One guest who was African American descent, regular build, short hair, was coming and going from the house and calling by cell phone a relative or friend in the United States. Now, how do we know? Why are we putting these details in there, calling a relative or friend? How do you know who anybody was calling in the United States? Using Blank as a translator, okay? I also saw the main client, Ms. Jackson, making contact with the male guest and on several occasions entering and leaving the house. During this time, I'm waiting for Blank to tell me what to do since he are my concierge team leader. So I entered the house where I initially observed the guest, relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room area near the dinner table. Okay, now see all these contradictions in this one little brief area here. First, he's talking about them, walking around in and out of the house. This sounds like anxiety here. Then all of a sudden he come in there and they calm sitting on the couch. Make up your mind here. Make up your mind here. Okay, let me just read a little bit more. My purpose was to look for the main guest. And then why is this part of the police report? Him talking about all this story stuff, right? This is how you can tell when stuff is baloney. It's too many details. It's too much story. Too much story. Right? They're trying to paint the picture here. This is them trying to throw Dejanay under the bus. Okay, here we go. Later around, so they leave out the times here. Our last time notation is 1625, which is 4:25. All right. So he's offering condolences and all this stuff. I said goodnight. Later around 21 to 21:30. So this here is from 9 to 9:30. Now they call in at 9 to 9:30, right? Shanquilla already getting the autopsy. She's getting moved to the surgical table with, the saw and thumb forceps. All right. Can y'all see this as being a big bowl of poop? Okay. All right. So anyway, we kind of detoured off of the plan here, but I just wanted to let y'all see how misleading some of this stuff could be. Let's see here. Beneath it says the entire case is built on wise. Yeah. Janice says you are setums to me forever. Setums. I don't know what that means. All right, I love y'all. I'm about to get on out of here. Beautiful Bee says they thought after saying what they said it would be over and done. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They wasn't expecting for people to be like, nah, we not accepting this. We saw the woman get her neck broke. You're not gonna tell us all these crazy stuff later. Lena says Mexico got rid of all the evidence. Jen says yes. All right. Karen says, RN, that question was addressed by you a few months ago. I'm lost. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. I love y'all. It's 1:40, about going on 2 in the morning. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for sticking here with me, and justice for Shanquilla Robinson. Love y'all. Peace and love. Keep the comments and all that good stuff going, and we're gonna continue to stand strong for justice for Shanquilla. Peace and love.